Welcome back to Slothbox. This channel is proudly sponsored by Lionpool Security Services and the Excelsior Sporting Club.
Welcome back to Slothbox. I'm Lyndon Dixon, and today I'm joined by Idris Virgo. Idris, how you getting on, mate?
I'm sound, man. I'm sound. Still buzzing from the win of the weekend, but now it's time to move on and focus on the next target to take out.
Just before we move on, I want to talk to you a little bit about what happened at the weekend. You was going in the Lions Den in Newcastle against Chalmers, and you shut a few haters up, in my opinion. Tell me a little bit about how that night went for you.
Yeah, 100% shut a lot of people up. The night went so great for me, man. It went how I planned, except for the first round. First round's a bit sticky. I think I was just caught cold. He woke me up from that nice shot he threw over the right hand. But then after that, I just dominated the whole match. Like, they called me the body break for a reason. Broke down his body, and then I just finished him upstairs with an uppercut. And I did say at the beginning of the fight, it would either be 1 round or 3 rounds. I'll take him out, and I'd done what I'd done. So I walked the walk, talked the talk, and I delivered just like Deliveroo. So yeah, man, I was just gassed and happy about it, man. And also, I've turned those Newcastle fans into my fans. I said I was going to do that, and I've done what I said as well. I've turned them into my fans. So I don't really support a team. So I think Newcastle, I support Newcastle from now on because they're those great fans. Great supporters.
Well,
So, yeah.
after all that was said between you and Aaron in the week, I mean, there was a lot of beef online and then back and forth in person. Is that all said and done now? Is that put to bed? Or is there still a little bit of needle there, like you got the one up on him?
Nah, it's all said and done now. I've got respect for Aaron. He didn't have to take that fight. He took the fight. He's got heart. You know what? He shocks me from how he fought, to be honest with you. I didn't expect him to be that good, but you always go into battle, and after the battle, the beef is squashed. That's why I love boxing, because you can have a beef with someone, and as soon as you find out who's the better man is, and then it's all sweet. So yeah, we're cool, man. If he's ever down in Birmingham, if he's ever down in London, we'll definitely go for a drink or get some training in, and vice versa.
Well, after the fight, after you got your hand raised, you squared off with Joe Laws, another Geordie boy, in the ring. Talk to me a little bit about, firstly, how did that even happen, and what was said between you two in the ring?
I don't know. The Joe Laws, he wants to come into the mixture scene, and it's like I'm the gatekeeper. With these guys, if they want to come into this scene, they've got to come see me. They've got to come see the chief, and he thinks he can have me just like Aaron, like the rest of my over 15 opponents. They think they can have me, and until they're in the ring against me, they realise it ain't as easy. Aaron did say I had pillow hands, and I proved to him that I haven't got pillow hands. I tried to tell Aaron numerous of times I have not got pillow hands. The only reason I've got less knockout on my record is because my opponent run or they grab. And fair play to Aaron, he didn't really clinch as much. And if he did clinch, he would have probably went the distance, because what can I do? Someone's clinches, you know what I mean? But he took the beatings, and I've just showed him I ain't got pillow hands. But with that guy who jumped in the ring, he just wants it. So if it makes sense, I'll fight him. I'm always willing to give the little guy a chance, because I remember I was a little guy. You know what I mean? I was always that guy who wanted to get into the scene, wanted to fight. So I'm not one of those type of guys like, you ain't got the clout, you don't deserve to fight me. But I'll give them a go. You know what I mean? Don't get wrong. They still have to prove themselves. They still got to fight someone on a low caliber, and then they could fight me. But other than that, I'm willing to give someone a chance if they're willing to fight me.
For me personally, that fight between yourself and Joe Laws, I understand what you're saying. Like, in terms of the crossover scene, he might not necessarily have that clout yet, even though that's not necessarily how you view things in terms of he's got to be this guy before I fight him. No. But in terms of what he's shown in the pro game, like his come forward style, he's lost a couple, but that's probably because of that style. For me, you two both in the ring, I think that would make a great matchup. So is that something that we can see down the line?
Yeah, as I said, if it makes sense and everyone's happy and he's not asked for too much money and then yeah, why not? He sounds like he's a madman. You know what I mean? I think he's like a more like a D plus fighter. You know what I mean? I'm an A plus fighter, so yeah, I wouldn't mind fighting him down the line. I'm all game. So yeah, let's see what happens.
Another man that you're being linked with straight after the fight is someone you've called out on Twitter, Le'Veon Bell. I mean, you're asking him for it. I haven't seen much come back yet, but do you want that fight?
100%. He's coming back on Twitter like the other day. I was like, no way. he actually responds, "Are you feeling all right? You're drunk, mate, because you've been ignoring all of my call outs, but you finally had the balls to message me back now on Twitter." And I was quite surprised. But he was calling ATL and he was calling everyone in the prime card like there's no exciting fights. I thought this is about getting good big name fights on this card. No one wants to fight him. I goes, all right then, mate, I'll fight you. You know what I mean? AT stepped up against me. Aaron stepped up against me. Like, it's about time he steps up against me. Yeah, he might have more followers than me. I don't think he's got more clout than me, to be honest with you. Like, I don't think he's got that draw, but he wants to fight Logan Paul as well. So ideally, I think if he wants to fight Logan, he's got to come see me first, the gatekeeper. Come see me. And he already knows he will get knocked out anyway. He already knows he's going to lose, hence why I don't think he'll take the fight. But if he's man enough to take the fight, I think me and him should fight 100%.
Well, talking a little bit more about the crossover scene, you mentioned the Prime card that's coming up in a few weeks. For me, when the crossover thing started, I was a bit skeptical. But if you look at that card that's coming up in October, it does look quality. I mean, the main event, the co-main event. What do you think of the way the scene's looking at the minute in terms of crossover boxing?
Stacked, it's stacked. Like crossover boxing now is just turning stacked. It's going to change in the sense of no one's going to be interested in traditional boxing. It sounds bad, but it's just the truth. These crossover boxing and influence boxing, there's more fun, more entertainment, more short rounds. There's more. You're going to guarantee a Mike Tyson knockout in these influencer fights. When you watch traditional boxing, you're sitting there for good 6, 8, 10, 12 rounds, and you're like, yo, this is boring. Sometimes I watch traditional boxing on TV, and I'm falling asleep, man. And I'm like, oh, this is boring, man. But if influence boxing, I'm like, yo, I don't know what's going on. Like my final weekend, it looked like it was going to be an upset. Like he came, but then I turned it back around and I won. Like you just don't really know with this influence of boxing. Some people might think, oh, there's mixed matches, but you just don't know. And there's excitement and it's more entertaining. So I think in the next couple of years, I think influence boxing is going to take over the traditional boxing, and these pro boxers now they're going to try to be influencers and try to get their on social media game up so they can fight better opponents or get more people more invested into the sport. So yeah, man, it's exciting times ahead.
The biggest fight in probably crossover boxing that we're going to see so far between KSI and Tommy Fury. You've sparred KSI yourself. How do you rate his chances? Because obviously the whole narrative is Tommy Fury's a pro boxer. He's been a boxer since he was a kid. KSI's only come into it recently. But like I say, you've sparred him yourself. So how do you rate his chances in the ring against Tommy Fury?
I rate it as 100%. I think KSI is gonna knock Tommy Fury out, coward Tommy Fury out, 100%. Tommy Fury is a coward. Let's be honest. On the spirits kind of things, I don't think it will matter as much because I think KSI has gained his experience through his sparring with myself and sparring the people he spars in the gym. And let's put it this way: you had Floyd Mayweather, who's 50. No, he fought Deji. Deji gave Floyd a black eye. No one's really gave Floyd a black eye. And Deji had less experience than Floyd, you know what I mean? So if that could happen, anything could happen against Tommy Fury and KSI. And from first-hand experience from sparring KSI, he's gonna shock everyone. He's gonna stamp his legacy on October the 14th. And I'm being serious, man. Like, of all the pay-per-views for people to buy and tune into, I think that's one of the pay-per-views someone should save the money for and invest and buy it because it's, as I said, it's a stat card. And then the main events is going to be the best out there, man. I think it's going to be the best card this year. It's just going to be crazy. That whole show is going to be crazy.
Back to yourself, though. Just the last question on the crossover boxing stuff. You're starting to really make a name for yourself now on that scene. And I was just wondering, obviously, I know you're a man with a plan. So in terms of those big names at the top of the crossover scene, who's one that you'd like? Who's one that you're aiming for?
I don't know. I would have said Floyd would have been a good name. Floyd. I don't know, man. Not too sure about Jake because Jake won't fight me. He's a freaking coward as well. Who else is in that cynical fight? I don't know. Who else is in that
there's Logan Paul. You could have the winner of Paul Dennis or the loser. Either way, that's a big fight.
Yeah, that'd be a good shout. Actually, that would be a good shout. That'd be a good fight. Even Dennis would be a good fight as well. Whoever's at the top of the list, he wants to game and he wants to fight, will fight. But as I said, it's not about the clout, it's the fear. It's about them signing the contract and facing the fears. As soon as they do that, then we'll have a fight. That's what Aaron Chalmers done, and I beat him. So next fight, we'll see who it is, and then I'll put a prediction on it again. And if you're a betting man, make sure you bet on the rounds.
Well, mate, it's been a pleasure so far. But the last question from me: you've done a lot this year, and it's nearly the end of the year. So I want to talk about next year. Come the end of the year, where do you see yourself? What are you hoping to do next? What's in the pipeline for Idris Virgo?
I want either a middleweight title for Misfits or the light heavyweight title by next end of next year at least. And also, I want to fight at least 4 or 5 times in a year, man. I want to be active. I want to be like a Nigel Benn and Mike Tyson, where they're constantly fighting each week. I want to bring that old school kind of thing back. No way he's fighting again. No way he's fighting again. I want to make sure that the hype's still there, man, because I'm game, man. I'm ready to go now. If they phone me and say, "Idris, you ready to fight now?" I'll be like, "Yeah, let's go." So I just want to keep on fighting, man. I'm 30, man. I'm getting old, so I've got to be fighting. I mean, I can't be doing it when I'm 40. So I need to do it when I'm young.
Exactly, mate. But well, like I said, it's been an absolute pleasure to speak to you, mate. I've been Lyndon Dixon. It's been Idris Virgo, and we will see you on the next one.
Peace.